On pole here in Calder Park is Allie Nelson in car number 96. The Denali Chase, the new model of this car, was supposed to debut earlier in the year, but a little extra testing was done for it, and now it sits on pole here at Calder Park, so I guess that extra fine-tuning really worked out. Nelson won the race at Sandown to get a little extra cash for this event, be able to prove that vehicle. Oh, we have an incident in the back. A couple cars get around in the back. Caution is going to be out on lap number 1. Allie Nelson's going to win the race to the line. Let's see what happened. And it looks like William Duncan, fresh off his one-race suspension, is going to turn the number 14 of Aiden Shepard to collect Andreas Allen, car number 39, as well. So luckily both of them will be able to continue. Here's a bit of a above shot of that incident. Officials are going to look at that one. We're going to have to see if that was on purpose or if that was a just an incident on track between a couple drivers. Allie Nelson's going to lead him to the line, but a car already heading to pit road. That is going to be Jack Lagacy in car number 18. That is unfortunate for him. We'll cover that in a second. What happened to him? And it looks like just the engine blew right on the restart. They were lining up for the green flag. And Jack Lagacy, Mr. No Luck at all, is going to be the first car out of this race. And that is absolutely tragic for the number 18 team. He was doing very well on track as well. He was in the top 10. So unfortunately, his day ends early. We got to shout out Kaloa Hankins in car number 0. He's got a great run today. Looking to the inside, the Hawaiian native. He can consider this slightly a home track since you can consider this area part of Oceania. Hankins out of Hawaii. He's going to make the pass for the race lead in the Airhogs machine, but a challenge down low. Looks to be the number 696 of Scott Roush. Came close last week in Cape Town to getting that unencumbered victory. Wasn't able to close it near the end. Oh, 3 wide for the race lead. Who's that car to the inside line? Looks to be William Duncan. And the number 83. Wouldn't it be something if he came back from a suspension by winning the race? 3 wide still through turns number 1 and 2. They're still going. Scott Roush is starting to pull a little bit ahead, but William Duncan has that coveted inside line. He can just get enough momentum. Not much draft down there for him, though. It looks like Allie Nelson is back into the mix. Hankins gets shuffled out. Scott Roush will go to the race lead. William Duncan, though, drag race to the line, does not get it done, as the 696 will be your leader. We got to spotlight Henrietta Fitzwater, the only Australian driver in this particular race. All the other Australian drivers are in the other event. She's driving a special scheme, a tribute to Jason Richards. Right now, she sits in 30th place at the moment, so not the run she was hoping for, but the race is still young. We're going to keep tabs on her throughout the day, see how she progresses. Allie Nelson takes the lead back on lap number 13. We mentioned earlier that she won the Sandown race, and the prize for that was pretty hefty. That was part of the back markers race. That was to help the drivers a little bit further down the points, maybe get some momentum, get a little bit of extra funding going into the next couple of races. And Allie Nelson that team seems to have used that money well. Speaking of money, Bill Littlejohn in car number 30 has a different look this weekend. That's because that is not his race car. That's a Mark Nutt car from earlier in the season that they've taped over the number 78 and put the number 30. After his wreck in Cape Town, the Littlejohn team, owned by Kip Pitt Motorsports, did not have enough funding to get a backup car for Bill Littlejohn out to Australia. They only had one car for the foreign tour for each driver. They were able to repair Prudence Littlejohn's car, but Bill had to do some creative taping work to get this backup car on track. He borrowed this from Mark Nutt's team. However, must be a pretty strong car. He's up there in the top 10. Gets shuffled to the outside line, but Littlejohn says this is one of the best cars he's driven in a while, so we'll have to see what that car can do throughout the day. Tommy Turbo, car number 3, the U.S. Army machine. He's going to make a challenge for the lead on lap number 20. He looks down low. Turbo sometimes sneaks up on you in these races. Sometimes you'll be looking at the leaders and you'll see Tommy Turbo just hanging in there around 4th or 5th. He's going to take the race lead from Allie Nelson. We see a couple of new challengers up there. The 88 car comes to mind right behind them. Nelson's going to get shuffled to the outside line, but she is definitely the car to beat in these early stages. as she's trying on the outside line by herself to beat Tommy Turbo. Unfortunately, that draft line to the inside might be a little bit too much, as Turbo is going to try and hang on to it. Nelson, though, really has a doozy of a car underneath her today, as Tommy Turbo will lead yet another lap. A little bit of help from that draft line down low, but the draft line will turn on him as Sylvain Lesavage in car number 88 is going to steal the race lead away. He's had a couple of rough instances in race ones throughout the year. A couple of early wrecks and spins, a couple of slow performances, but going to get a lap led today. That'll help in the point standings. But here comes Allie Nelson, Denali Chase. I don't think that's an appropriate name for the Denali Chase, because a lot of these drivers have been chasing her. No, we have a near wreck right behind them. What happened back there? They say that no one's gonna go around, but that was a scary looking incident as Allie Nelson takes the race lead. Let's see what happened. So, Michaels almost gets turned by William Duncan. You know, William Duncan has been in hot water for the past couple seasons. He's been suspended numerous times, and he's already under investigation in this race alone. I do not think he should be racing drivers like that. But we'll have to see. He didn't actually turn the 04 around, just gave him a bit of a shove. So he might just barely scrape by in the skin of his teeth there. But William Duncan is really riding the edge of what is acceptable out there on the racetrack today. He's been given multiple warnings. There's a chance that he could get suspended if he keeps up his behavior. However, Duncan is going to eventually help the number 04 of Joshua Michaels. Joshua Michaels would go to the lead in that machine, the Liskey's machine. Doing well this race so far. Joshua Michaels has been kind of a mid-pack kind of guy throughout the tour. I remember in HARC USA, he was just barely around the midway section of the field in most events. So a bit of an improvement this year, as William Duncan in the 83 is going to go to the inside line. Can he lead some laps today? Can Big Bad William Duncan, the dastardly William Duncan, some of the drivers call him out there, lead a lap? And he will. William Duncan's going to get himself a bonus point. He's going to need that after missing that race in Cape Town. 88 of Lesavage is going to look down low, and he's going to take the lead away for himself, going back out front. Completely different complexion up near the front than it once was earlier in the race. A lot of passing, a lot of great battling out here today, as Michael's going to drop a few positions. Lesavage back out front, but here comes Allie Nelson on the charge. That car is quick, and it's chasing him down. 88 machine, though, is going to have to try and hold her off, but Nelson's been quick, and she's had a couple of solid efforts throughout the season. The one that comes to mind was at Malaga, was chasing down Scott Roush near the end there, but just couldn't get it done. Looking to the inside, though, she's going to steal the race lead away, and we got an incident on the racetrack we're hearing. We'll have to check that out in a little bit, as Nelson is going to secure the lead. We'll see what happened. P.J. Williams in the number 26. He's usually up near the front, but finds himself with some bad luck. He's going to make contact with Brian Fox and go sliding through the grass. No caution for this event, since he was far enough off the racetrack and the field had gotten by him, but he would get that car turned around and continue on his merry way. Unfortunately, not going to be up near the front for the rest of this one. Give you an update on Henrietta Fitzwater. Started 30th, working her way up to the front. She's now up to 8th place on the racetrack, and we have a huge gaggle of cars here that stretches all the way back into the late 20s, so a lot of drivers have an opportunity to win this race still, even though we are only on lap number 30 of this event, about a third of the way through. John Bonnell in the 53 was running up near the front, having an okay run, but he began to slow on the racetrack. It looks like he's got a power issue, and Scott Roush is going to run to the back of him, and nearly, contact Nick Pericles. Oh man, this is dicey. I don't think Scott Roush appreciated it, gave him a bit of a shove after the fact. John Bonnell would continue, they would fix that electrical issue, but Scott Roush would go out of the race for that damage. Sylvain Lesavage, car number 88, trying once again underneath Allie Nelson. He's going to get a run, but here comes Casey Lester. He's going to make it 3 wide. Lester had an outstanding run at Watkins Glen earlier this year, but had an issue with a couple laps to go, ended up breaking off track. He's looking for a little bit of redemption from that one. And the Snickers car is going to actually sneak by and steal the race lead away from Sylvain Lesavage. just picks it out from the middle line. I've not seen a driver do that today, making the pass work from the middle line when the driver on the inside line is right there. It's a tight battle out front as the 88 car trying to muscle ahead. Who's going to get it done? Well, Salvage has that preferred line, but a little bit more draft to the outside for Casey Lester as you see a bigger line of cars running behind him. How about Henrietta Fitzwater, the number 61 car, right behind him, working their way up through the field. 88 car is going to steal the lead. Got to give another shout out to Esteves Cortez, known mostly for his road racing expertise and off-road racing. Not really known for his stock car abilities, but having a great job today running inside the top 5. In fact, both he and his teammate Joshua Michaels are running up in the top 5 as he's going to make a couple passes here to work his way into it. So great job for that team. Joshua Michaels and Esteves Cortez must be pretty happy out there today. Cortez trying to prove that he can work it on the ovals as well. And speaking of, Michaels is going to work his way past number 88 of Lasavage, retake the race lead. You see Allie Nelson still in tow. Lester drops back to 4th place, but Nelson, we keep mentioning how quick that race car is. She's going to get right by the number 88. New paint scheme on the two Denali's, her and Will Hoyt. New sponsorship opportunities from the new brand. You know, they decided new car, let's change things up. So a nice Aurora Borealis paint scheme on the 16 and 96 this weekend. Will Hoyt will be in race number 2. But Nelson is getting that car a lot of coverage. I think a couple people might want to buy some Denali chases when they leave here today. That car is doing superb as Michaels to the outside line, not going to be able to hold her up. As you can see in the distance, there's a little bit of lap traffic. That might play a factor into this race if they can catch him. Casey Lester, the number 013, is going to make an attempt for a second. Oh, gets into the back of the 04! Michael saves it again. That's the second time he's been turned this race. I'm not sure if it's just Michael's luck or maybe he's not making a lot of friends out there. But Michael's doing a great job saving it 2 times in a row. Lester's going to get by, but he sees the 04 in the rear view window. He's going to have to be careful. I don't think Michaels is going to appreciate the move that Lester pulled on him just then. See 2 lines of cars right behind him looking out for trouble since looks like the 04 car trying to catch up to that back bumper. Got a spotlight Henrietta Fitzwater, car number 61. She's going to find herself with this pass up to 3rd place. Fitzwater really rocketing through the field and giving the home crowd something to cheer about out there today. A little bit of help there from Spencer Fullerton, who's kind of worked his way from nowhere to get up there. Grace Nacavedo running up near the front as well. You see up near the front there, Nelson's by herself with 2 lapped cars. That's Williams and Bunnell. So we got a 3-wide battle. Oh, a little bit of contact. The 61 and the 73 make some contact. They both save it. Fitzwater is going to be the victor on that, but Spencer Fullerton still challenging to the outside. As you can see on the inside, though, Cortez and Duncan have got a pretty good tandem draft going there, working their way up through the field. Here is Allie Nelson. She's been able to pull away from the rest of the pack and is using these 2 lapped cars to extend that lead because Williams doesn't really have much damage to that 26, and the 53, while damaged, is still fairly quick out on the racetrack. His issue is more of a mechanical issue. So Nelson is actually pulling away from the rest of the pack. She's crossing her fingers hoping that this thing goes green to the end. Because if it does, she will have a huge advantage on the rest of the field. No one can seem to catch her. Seems to be gaining each lap, almost. Nelson, though, is trying to work her way around these lap cars to be the front car in line. Because just in case that the drivers behind her start to catch up, they'll have to deal with 2 lap cars as a buffer. See Brian Fox there in the 74. He's currently in 2nd place. But they've been doing so much passing back there that they've been slowing themselves down. So I don't think Nelson has to worry too much about hurrying past these lap cars. But definitely something to keep in mind, especially that 53, who's got a little bit of rear end damage. That car might not be handling the best. You don't want to deal with that in front of you. Oh, Spencer Fullerton in the 73 car is going to get loose. And that is going to bring out that caution that Allie Nelson was not hoping for. Sebastian Torres involved as well, and that's a shame for the 73. He was doing so well out near the front. Going to lose a ton of positions on track. Torres was hoping for a good day as well. They're going to rack this up. pit stops would occur under this caution and everyone would head down pit road. The only car that stayed out was John Bunnell. PJ Williams, who stayed out this time around, would pit the next lap. Now the challenge will be, who is going to make it off pit road first? Can anyone really gain a lot of ground? Can anyone even beat Allie Nelson off of pit road, considering how big of a lead she had going into pit stops? Everyone caught up a bit. Following pit stops, Allie Nelson would get the race lead, but whiffs it on the restart. Casey Lester in the 013 jumps to the outside line. That was almost an illegal maneuver, but he's going to hold off a bit, not complete the pass. As you can see, there's Chester Harvey in the 57. Had a very good pit stop. He was running about mid-pack. They were able to get third off the pit road, but Allie Nelson, in true dominating form, is going to pull away a couple car lengths off the start, even with a bad restart. Still going to retain the lead and gain time in her competitors, including passing the 53 of John Bunnell, who was ahead of the leaders after staying out. Jake Baskinger, car number 10, is going to have an issue. He's going to have to come back down pit road. They've got a loose lug nut on that car, and that vibration was just killing him over there, he said on the radio, so they're going to pit quick. And they're going to tend to that. You'll lose a lot of time and lose the pack. Brian Fox in the 74 is approaching the leaders with a head of steam. And Brian Fox, noted for his short track racing, get up near the front. Now Fox, we talked about a little bit last season. He was unfortunately most noted for his reckless driving at Flat Rock, which that says something about you as a driver if you were managed to be the reckless one at Flat Rock. But Brian Fox has been fairly tame throughout this season. A couple of slight confrontations on the racetrack, but nothing that has resulted in massive penalties. He's going to try and challenge for the race lead, trying to get by. Now, laps are starting to run out as we are around lap 72 out of 90, so we're within 20 to go. So it's now or never for these drivers if they want to win this race. That late race caution really stacked everyone up. And now anyone's got a chance of this one. But Allie Nelson is going to be difficult to beat. A lot of drivers are going to have to team up to get by her, it would seem. That car is just superb today. Sylvain Lasavito is going to go after his own self-interest. Almost 4 wide going to the corner, but Nelson pulls ahead. Williams thinks wisely of it and decides to back out. Lasavich, though, going to look to the inside line, trying to make the pass. Can he get it done? He will. Or will he? That was close going to the line. We were still focused on the 74. Lasavich will get by the number 96, though, the following lap, without question. As Lasavich seems to be one of the few drivers out there that can really hold his own against Allie Nelson. So he may have an opportunity to put the 88 machine in victory lane. He's going to pull out to a couple car lanes lead. You can see a couple other drivers battling for that second position. How about Denzel Williams in the number 17 Buffalo Wild Wings Chrysler? Wouldn't that be something if he were able to get the win today? Nelson, though, catching up, putting a challenge onto the inside of Sylvain Lasavich. And how about the 55 of A.J. Green? Having a great run out there. Hopefully, knock on wood, nothing happens to that 55 car for the end of the race. And how about the 6 of Mifune Sanjuro now in the picture? Came out of nowhere. 30 car back there of Little John's up in competition. Battle for the lead as Denzel Williams trying to make the pass to the inside line. Drafting help from Mifune Sanjuro. Both of the William Duncan machines are up near the front. William Duncan a couple spots back. Nelson, though, going to get a lot of momentum to the outside line. Mifune Sanjuro decides to make the pass himself and is going for second place. This will buy Allie Nelson a little bit of time as they sort the positions out right behind her. Well, a lot of cars are right here, ready to battle. They know they only have a little bit of time left. Here comes Mifune Sanjuro, lap 83. Came out of nowhere in this one. We had not talked about Mifune Sanjuro all day. Had a great pit stop. Was kind of running mostly mid-pack. Now finds himself in the race lead, competing with less than 10 to go. And 3 wide for second place as Denzel Williams and Sylvain Lasavich trying to do a double team on Allie Nelson. Sanjuro's going to pull away a bit. Nelson drops down the 4th, and Casey Lester is going to make a challenge to try and knock her down to 5th place. Lester, though, has a pretty big run to the inside line, but it looks like Williams is going to try and block him. We got to give huge props to Nick Pericles in car number 84. Started this race 39th, in the early stages of this race, he actually lost the main pack. He was with a small group of 4 cars just pacing around the field near the challenge of the pack, not close to this group at all. He finds himself in 8th place, and he is charging through the field in these late stages to try and get a top 5 finish. You see him to the outside of car number 30 of Bill Littlejohn, who's got a great piece underneath him today. As Nick Pericles, this is a driver that wants to go for a championship, one of the most improved drivers of this season. Nelson, as we mentioned, dropped to 4th, tries to pass. Denzel Williams makes contact with him. And that's going to send her loose. That might break her momentum. I have to see if she can recover going to the corner, or will the 88 of LaSavage be able to challenge to the outside line? She keeps the spot, but the 17's going to get away. Final lap. White flag in the air. Mafuni Sandrero's out front, but here comes Denzel Williams to the inside line. Can the 17 car get it done? He's been having a hard time on the inside line, making the pass. Here comes Casey Lester trying to make it 3 wide. Not going to work. He's going to slot behind him. Mafuni Sandrero trying to hang on to this one, but here comes Denzel Williams to the inside line. Can the Buffalo Wild Wings machine steal the race win on the final lap? Coming to the line, it's going to be close. And car number 6, Mafuni Sandrero, is going to hold on to it and win here at Calder Park. What a finish. We've had closer this season, but that was a pretty down-to-the-wire finish. Williams almost sniped that win away, but congratulations to the driver of car number 6. Had a great run out there today. We're going to have to take a look at that finish. And look at that, Nick Pericles is up in the top 5. What a finish by him. But Sandrero's going to work his way to victory lane and celebrate this one. What a performance from Mafuni Sandrero. We're going to have to take a look at that finish one more time, because that was just truly astounding. As you see cars coming down pit road, a couple drivers staying out on the racetrack. That is how close it was. About half a car length, which, again, we've seen races come down to the wire this season, but this is still an impressive feat. Williams almost able to get it done. If he had the help, he might have been able to do it. Let's take a look at your top 10 before showing you the full results. Mafuni Sandrero wins it. Denzel Williams, so close, but a good point stay for the 17. Casey Lester, a 3rd place. That's not a bad effort for him. How about Nick Pericles? Definitely the hard charger today. 39th up to 4th. Allie Nelson, despite dominating most of the race, will end up having to settle for 5th place, but that'll be a good point stay overall. Then DJ Kurtis in 6th, doing well in the points. Bill Littlejohn in a backup car. Car he borrowed for this weekend. He's up to 7th, followed by LaSavage, Kaloa Hankins, and Brian Fox, your top 10.